right. And here we are for Husky Hoops. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. With me, as always, the icon himself, the legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best, Joe D'Ambrosia. Joe, great to see
Morning.
you.
Good to have MC back.
And
yes,
finally, we get to have our darling, the UConn women's basketball legend, Western Connecticut State University head coach, Maria Conlon. Maria, great to see you.
Morning, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
It is a happy New Year. Let me see if this works better. There we go. I like that. Okay. So, Maria, first of all, tell us about your trip to Puerto Rico.
Listen, when we finally got there, got settled and everything.
So the flight was delayed?
So our flight was a little delayed going out. We were supposed to play Monday, Tuesday. We couldn't practice Friday because we were supposed to practice at night because of the snow. We got delayed Saturday. We landed around 11, got to the hotel at 12, and then found out our game got pushed up to Sunday at 1 o'clock. So we had like 13 hours in plane legs. Joe, I said to my assistants, I said, do you think Gino Ariema would let a tournament push his game up an entire day, 13 hours after landing?
No.
So, listen, we fought. We played Salisbury. I think if we had them fresh, we could have pulled it out. Our kids were just dog tired. We were in the airport for like 8 hours on Saturday, then on the plane. We got the second win against Wilkes. So, but honestly, like, really, it was about the experience for the kids.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of kids that have never flown before. They went jet skiing. We went to Old San Juan. Like,
how'd you like Old San Juan? I loved it when I was there.
Oh, it's gorgeous there. It's so cool.
Isn't it?
And,
it's nice.
Like, I don't know if you've ever been there on Christmas, but
no.
Like the Christmas lights and the Christmas trees and the decorations. It was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, we were there for a tournament in November in San Juan a long time ago, obviously. And we went. Wayne and I took a side trip to Old San Juan. We had dinner there. It was great.
Yeah, I think I'm scarred now because the rice and like the mofongo and like everything that they have there is just so freaking good.
Yeah, it is.
Like you come home and you're like, oh boy, like where am I going to get this again? And like the last day that we were there, me and my coaches, we chilled by the pool for a little bit and had pina coladas, which I'm usually not a big like pina colada person.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
But best pina colada I've ever had in my life.
Well, it's different there because they make it. The rum is so much different. I think
the Don Q that they use. It's like so good, and the juice is fresh.
Yeah. Yes, that's the other big thing.
Yeah,
that's the other big thing.
We ate at this place called. Hopefully, I don't butcher the name. It's like Barachina in Old San Juan.
Okay.
It's that's where the pina colada originated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a cute little, like super authentic Puerto Rican restaurant. They got the guys and the guitars coming around and stuff. It was really cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, so now I'm back to the cold.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome back. Although it's supposed to be 50 on Friday.
How many games did you end up playing?
We only played 2 games out there.
Oh, you played 2 games. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you were supposed to play, right?
Yeah, but we were supposed to play Monday, Tuesday.
Right, and instead it was Sunday, Tuesday?
Sunday, Tuesday. Okay. So we had to like rearrange like our itinerary. And then we found out that the whole reason we had to do that is because the Salisbury team, like imagine this too. The Salisbury team was supposed to play Sunday, Monday. The team they were supposed to play on Sundays, flight got canceled, rescheduled. So the organization tried to have them play Monday, Tuesday. They refused to play on Tuesday because they had an excursion booked.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. And so like I knew the lady that was running the event. And she's like, I knew you would help us out. And I'm like, sure, okay, yeah, I'll be the nice guy here. But
one time. I'll help you
Yeah.
out one time.
That's it. I'm done with that.
I'll help you out one
Yeah,
time. Well, glad to have you back.
Maria learned her lesson fast. That's
I have like this
that's great.
perpetual thing about trying to do the right thing, and sometimes it bites me in the butt, but I'm just gonna stay with it,
Yeah, don't change who you are.
But
Yeah.
when did you get back exactly?
We got back, so we landed at 11:58 New Year's Eve.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
right
so we
before
did
the
like the Happy New Year thing in the airport.
Did you fly to New York?
No, we flew out of Hartford.
Oh, you did. You flew out of Bradley.
Thank God. I mean, I knew that because I'm like, flying in New Year's Eve to anywhere in New York has got to be a freaking nightmare.
Well, and plus
My
trying to
God.
get out of there during the holiday season is a disaster.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I remember trying to get somebody to Newark once the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, which was the worst, which was as bad a travel experience as I've ever had, driving to the airport and then driving home. Driving home was the worst. It took like from where I live 4 hours to get to Newark, which never happened. So
Right.
All right, Cully.
All right. So Joe, the men's basketball team won its 9th straight game with a wire-to-wire win at Xavier, knocking off the Musketeers 90-67 Wednesday night at the Cintas Center. Caravan was the scoring leader, 19 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block, led the way for UConn. UConn hit a season high 13 threes and shot 53% from the field. Solo ball, Braylon Mullins added 17 points. Mullins tied his career scoring high and setting a new personal benchmark in 3-pointers. He hit 5.
Okay, let me interrupt you for a minute.
Yes, sir.
From this point on, with freshmen, we're not going to refer to career highs because their career is a minute and a half old. Okay,
that's very true.
It's not on you. This is not on you. This is just educational. But
yes.
When we refer to freshmen's career highs, it's not like he's Caravan who's played 130 games. He's played 10 games.
Yeah.
He didn't even play early in the year. So he had a season high 17.
So yeah, every game is going to be a career high. But no, he played very, very well.
Yeah, played in front of the home folks. Hey, look, Xavier stinks. Richard Pitino has a long way to go.
Oh, Xavier stinks. Oh, okay. Oh, because I thought they were gonna make it into the tournament. So
I don't think so.
No, I don't. That's what I was told. UConn led 30-6 midway through the first half, and they rode that early run the rest of the way. And then Terrace Reed obviously was the 4th Husky in double figures. He had 10 points and a team high 8 rebounds, part of a plus 16 advantage that we had on the glass. And then they had Malik Messina Moore led Xavier with 16 points, and Flip, I can't say his last name, Bornacan? Had 14 points and 11 rebounds for a double-double. I mean, UConn just looked great. I mean, they started up strong. They had a 9-2 advantage going early. Caravan had a 3-point play at 17 minutes to go in the game. UConn stretched its lead to double digits later with Mullins. He had a steal, an alley-oop to Ball. Caravan had a breakaway slam, and Xavier called a timeout, and the UConn was up 16-4. But they just dominated the rest of the way. They had a struggle kind of at the 4-minute mark.
Okay, let's stop this game because the game stunk. You're going way too deep into the weeds on a game a week ago that wasn't worth it. Xavier stinks. I don't know who told you Xavier was getting to the NCAAs, but you're not listed in the bracketology. There's 4 Big East teams listed in the
I
bracket.
agree. No, I agree with you. With you.
Xavier stinks. So UConn played really well. Everything meshed. Xavier's got a long way to go. End of story.
End of story. Caravan had 19, Mullins 17.
Wait, you said that already. We don't have to rehash that.
Okay. What did you think of Demery? Did Demery play any better in your mind?
Yes, Demery's playing a lot better. Demery's playing like the point guard they need him to play.
What about Malachi Smith?
I think Malachi Smith has a role off the bench, be an energy guy, but I don't want to see him shooting the ball unless it's a layup.
Yeah,
I'd prefer he take shots from 3 feet and in, which is kind of hard from a guard. I mean, he's going to knock down an occasional 3. I think Stewart's playing better.
Yes,
obviously Jaden Ross being hurt might hurt him tonight if he doesn't play at Providence. But no, the game. I mean, the game's not worth in-depth analysis.
I mean, it's a game that they should have won, taking care of business, and they absolutely did.
Great. They played great. They looked like the 4th-ranked team in the country.
Maria, your thoughts?
First of all, Joe, I love that phrase. I prefer for him to shoot it from 3 feet in.
Right.
I'm going to use that today in practice with a couple of my kids because we just keep having multiple games where we go like 1 for 16, 2 for 18 from 3. I finally said the other day, I said, guys, here's the deal. I don't think we're a 3-point shooting team. Our percentages don't lie, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't want to belabor it to Joe's point. I think the men are playing great right now. I think, as we've said before, I think Caravan's always going to look comfortable when he's not the go-to guy. So having Mullins and some of these guys in there and operating the way that they are, I think Demery looks great right now. A little bit for me is like garbage in, garbage out, because to Joe's point, like some of these teams really stink. But I do think they're good confidence boosters for some of these guys.
Oh, absolutely.
To get
good
going a little bit. That's important at this time of year, right? You hit January and you kind of want to hit your stride a little bit. Not fully, right? You want to hit your full stride around March, but I think
when you want to peak,
right? And I think they're playing really well. A little off topic, but I want to switch gears for a second. What did you guys think about the Manhattan? Joe, what did you think about the Manhattan-Quinnipiac game?
Let me just say this. I know John Gallagher pretty well. When he coached at Hartford, I like him. He's a good guy. But I could see where Tom Pecora wanted to take his head off.
Yeah.
Gal can poke the bear and push the envelope.
That was some of the best bear poking I've ever seen.
He's I would say when they play when they play again, which I think will be in Hamden at Quinnipiac, that might be must-see TV.
I might have to go to that one, Joe. We might have to go. I got to look.
You know what? We might have to have a date that night, Maria.
Yeah, I'm in, man. I'm in.
Can someone educate me to what happened?
Oh, geez. Are you not on social media at all? This is like viral, man.
I'm not on social media.
Both coaches ejected with like 5 minutes left in the game. It was. I felt like we were flashing back to like Indiana days with
Bob Knight.
Bobby Knight, yeah.
But,
there was an altercation, and then it got a little ugly, and then the coaches got involved, and some stuff was said, and Pecora said afterwards, "Don't you ever talk to my players again." And in the Pecora's post-game press conference was pretty
intense.
Was pretty viral.
Yeah.
So let's put it that way. I didn't see any of Gal's comments after the game, but it was just
there's no lack of passion, that's for sure.
No, it's what you'd like to see him play hard all the time, but not to the point where it's World War III.
Yeah.
Right.
Another off topic before we switch to the UConn women who've been blowing out everybody.
Right.
In my opinion, the second hottest programs in the country, Vanderbilt. We got my girl Shay Ralph. still undefeated. I didn't really think it was a huge upset against LSU. I think Vandy's a better team anyways, but she's got these kids. I mean, I watched this whole second half of the Vandy LSU game because I was on my way back from practice. They are freaking fun to watch. I'm telling you right now, Vanderbilt is not a team that I want to see deep into March.
Right.
The Blake's kid, the sophomore, is phenomenal. They got a point guard now who can shoot the rock. She distributes their bigs, crash the offensive and defensive boards like animals. And I mean, listen, we know that Shay to me is like one of my favorite Huskies of all time.
Absolutely.
Just from like, first of all, human being standpoint. Second of all, overcoming adversity standpoint. I mean,
with the
girls'
injuries,
corner is slow like 3 times, like, and then just a work ethic, like rip your head off, hand it to you on a silver platter. And she's got these kids playing like she used to play, like from a get after it passion standpoint. And then the Vanderbilt men are really good, Joe.
Yeah. Well, they've got bracketology. Charlie Cream has Vandy as a 2 in UConn's region, which is the in the stupid way they do things now, the Fort Worth region.
Yep.
So this year they're playing in Fort Worth and Sacramento for some unbeknown reason.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I think as her success continues, I think when that day comes that Gino decides to step down, and nobody thinks CD wants to take it, is Shay the number 1 candidate? Now, let me ask you a question. This was raised by somebody. Is her husband on the coaching staff there?
Yeah, he's the associate head.
We remember what happened with Randy Edsel when he tried to get his kid as an assistant coach at UConn, and there was a big state ethics thing about that.
We only spent $1 million investigating it.
Would that come into play if Shay came back?
That would be like, first and foremost, I would jump for joy, play in traffic, be happy if Shay Ralph was the one that took over the helm.
I think everybody would, to be honest with you.
I don't know, right? And I know Shay pretty well.
The rules are, yeah.
I don't know if she wants it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, listen, she's
with the money.
She's a down south girl from heart, right?
Yeah.
She's a country girl. She's living in Nashville. She's built something really, really special there that's hers, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
you don't want to be Jay Leno. You want to be Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, like I don't know for her if it makes sense. Like, I mean, listen, I think she can do it. I'm not saying that. I mean,
question. Yeah,
100%. Like I've always said that. My whole thing is like, do you want that? Right. Do you want to be in the shadow, or do you want to create your own legacy? So I think that'll be the tough one there. In terms of, the thing with like, her husband being the associate. I mean, he was a head coach for years.
Yeah.
Yep. Before he went to Vandy and basically handed her the reins. And by the way, are they married? I don't know if they're actually married or not.
No, that might be
that might be a workaround.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's a different situation.
I mean, he's an awesome guy and he's an awesome coach too. I think it's got to be a really specific situation. I think the one thing with the Edsel thing is like they weren't previously.
They were really targeting
together at that level. I think.
Yeah.
With Shay, they've proven they can do it.
Yeah, they are married, by the way.
Are they married? Yeah, they probably got married in like City Hall, and she probably didn't tell anybody. But like, because that's just Shay. She doesn't want a big wedding or anything like that. They have a beautiful daughter together. But they've proven they can do it somewhere else, and it work.
The legacy thing is a great point. Because she's built it up there. And look, let's be honest. I mean, we talk about this till we're blue in the face, but do you want to coach in the SEC or do you want to coach in the Washington East?
Exactly.
That was going to be my next point. And
right? I mean, come on.
Like let's call a spade here. She's built this up in a remarkably short amount of time.
Oh, huge.
I mean, Vandy was like completely off the radar.
They were irrelevant.
Like, they hadn't beaten a top 5 team in like 16 years or something like that.
They were irrelevant.
The woman who was there before her had a pretty good run, and then things fell off the rails a little
when
bit.
I was there, who the heck was the Vandy coach? Like when I was in college.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
He was pretty good. And I know we had a good rivalry with her. You know, Gino got along really well with her.
I'm trying to think of who the heck it was. I could picture her face, but I can't picture her.
Yes, I can too.
But yeah, I mean, to your point, and then she left. I think someone else took over.
Yeah, and then it fell down.
Stephanie White there for a bit?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Where the heck was
remember.
Or Katie Smith. Who was the really good guard that came out of Vandy back then? I feel like somehow that guard was in the mix as a head coach or something at one point, but I could be confusing it with another school. Regardless, I mean, she's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean,
Shay's great. Shay's done a great job, and she'll continue to be a great head coach no matter where she goes.
Well, and I think people have to remember, right? Like during the, Maya Moore days, the Stewie day, like she was an assistant at UConn. She was doing a lot of that recruiting.
Right.
For us to get a lot of those kids, when JJ and Tanya were head coaches elsewhere, and it was really her, coach, and CD that were the main 3-headed monster from a coaching staff perspective. So, she knows how to recruit. She also knows how UConn wants to recruit.
Right.
So obviously, I think she would be a seamless fit. I just don't know.
Stephanie White was the coach there.
Yeah, I knew that. Okay.
But that's not who I was talking about. It wasn't.
No. Stephanie White's who took over after the
Melaine Balcom.
Yes, Melanie Balcom.
Yes,
Melanie Balcom.
Melanie Balcom. Sorry. Yeah, and the situation with Randy was different because his son had only been a graduate assistant coach and was given a full-time position job. So that's what caused the controversy and nepotism.
Right. Well, yeah, you get that's more nepotism when you're handing that off. I do think that the situation with Shay and her husband is a little bit different.
It's a little different. But anyways, back to the women. I mean, look, breaking down the women's games, unfortunately, is like breaking down the men's game against Xavier. I mean, they're just so much, I think the number one star of the week goes to KK for coming back after one game off with the broken nose and getting that solved. I think, I guarantee you, if you put them under truth serum, the coaching staff would tell you they knew Blanca would be good. They weren't sure she'd be this good this early playing there. And I think Sarah Williams is starting to figure out what she needs to do to be a successful piece of the puzzle. I mean, look, they're just a machine. They might have one or two close games the rest of the year. Won't have any close games in the Big East, to my way of thinking, unless they get a bad referee or as we always say, a catastrophic injury to Sarah or Azzi. But look, they're like the old Yankees used to be and the old Patriots used to be. Their season is defined by success in the postseason, whether that's fair or not. That's the way it's going to be.
No, exactly. And you're right. They played Providence and decimated them. Azzi had 18, Sarah had 17, and UConn extended its winning streak to 30 games. They won 90-53 over Providence on Wednesday. They're 14-0, 5-0 in the Big East. They have not lost since February 6th, 2024. And they've won 52 games against Big East opponents. And you mentioned Blanca. Blanca Quinones scored 7 straight points to highlight Connecticut's 21-0 run that made it 30-7 at the end of the first quarter. So yeah, looking at this, it was just pure dominance. Azzi had the 18, Sarah had 17. They both had Azzi had 4 steals, Sarah had 3 steals, 2 assists, 6 assists. 7 rebounds, 2 rebounds. They're both just unstoppable. They're monsters in there. And then they had Ali Zeibel, who played because of KK. She had 9 points. She had 1 assist and 2 rebounds. Sarah Williams was the only one, I believe, who got into foul trouble. She fouled out. She had 8 points, and she had 5 fouls, but she did have 5 blocks. She had 4 turnovers, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds. So she's coming. She's coming along. And then, Ashlyn Shay had 5 points. And she was the other starter. She played 26 minutes. She only took 3 shots. She was 2 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3-point land, and she had 4 rebounds. And then off the bench, Blanca had 11, and Jana Al-Alfi had 10. It's good to see her get back in. She had 10 points, 5 rebounds. So this was just pure dominance. Joe, were you surprised that they went with Ali Zeibel in the starting lineup?
No, because I think he likes the idea of the USC kid coming off the bench and changing the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
Not that they need that. Let's be honest, but
right, they can play whoever they want.
I think he wanted to, keep things as close to possible. And look, we're not inside at practice. We don't know who's doing what at practice. I think, as Maria can attest to, is both a coach and a player. A lot of what you see on the floor in the game is predicated on what you do in practice, especially if you're not. And if Sarah Strong has an off practice, she's not sitting the bench to start the next game. Same thing with Azzi or somebody like that. You're not going to do that to your best player. But if you're under that level and you perform well in practice, you could start the next game. So no, I wasn't surprised to see Ali get the start. And again, everybody's the great thing about this team, Maria, is everybody's got their role. Everybody knows what's expected of them.
Yeah, and they went. So I'm trying to just remember.
And Blanca was, like Maria said, she's that 3-headed monster. She was the 3rd leading scorer again.
She came in off the bench too.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right. Yeah, but again, with that spot, she's playing so well off the bench that you don't want to really mess with that, because you like having that spark, that scorer coming off the bench there. Because I think, listen, you start a game, you want to feed Azzi and Sarah, get them going, right? And then as teams start to adjust a little bit to that, as much as they possibly can, because you really can't, but then you bring her in off the bench, and now you got 3 kids that can score at a high level. So, yeah, what are they? They're playing St. John's tonight.
Yeah,
St. John's tonight.
Yeah, poor St. John's. I don't. These teams are. It's like watching UConn, that's a professional team, play against mid majors in this Big East conference. It's
like they're playing the MAC. Yeah, that I got in trouble last week for saying that.
I actually think Fairfield would give them a better game than half the teams in the Big East, to be honest.
And look, St. John's is 13-3. They've had a good, for their standpoint, they've had a good season, but they're probably, I don't think there's odds on the game, but they're probably a 25-point underdog, especially although it's funny, and it doesn't mean anything because it was during all the injuries, but the last team to win in Hartford was St. John's.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I do remember that game.
But that means nothing, because that was then and this is now, and UConn's not the same team that they were back then, with everybody being hurt.
No. And, Dave put this on for the title. We need to get out of the Big East. The Big East is harming us.
Again, let me go against that. You know my thoughts on this. It's not harming us because we're still getting players and we're still getting national acclamation. I don't agree that the Big East is harming us. I think
But
that's
don't you think that will change in the next 5 years just because
how do we know?
financially
I
we're
want to be the next 5 years to see it. If it does, I'll let you know then.
okay. No, the only reason we say that is because of finances, because of the television, the broadcasting contracts that the SEC, the Big Ten get, and you see it in the top 25. The only non-power 4 schools there are us in Gonzaga for the men. I don't know for the women, but that's what worries me is it's going to trickle down eventually. We're able to make it work now because we have Hurley, we have Gino. When they're gone, that's what scares me. Being able to keep that going because we're not getting the money that the other conferences do. And that's what we're seeing happening. That's why we
Yeah,
worry.
but you're not seeing it happen at UConn.
Not now, but I think we will. That's
How do
what
you
I
know
think.
that? But how do you know that, Steve? What is the formula that
Because
shows you that? And don't use football because we're not talking football here. Okay, this has nothing to do with football. We're
no.
the basketball show. We're talking about basketball.
No,
So
I know.
you explain to me how we get so much. We get yes. Are we in a less than all the Power Four schools? Yeah. Well, how's all that money help Boston College's women's program? How has it helped Syracuse's women's program? How has it helped Rutgers' women's program? Explain that to me.
They're all jokes because they're in conferences with 18 to 20 teams. We can go into that conference and we can compete because we have been dominant. None of those teams have been dominant in the last 10 years, really. Syracuse has had teams occasionally, but Rutgers hasn't. I mean, we have always been dominant. I think we could go into the Big Ten. I think we could go into the ACC, and I think we could still be dominant. And having that extra revenue will help us to continue to get great players. That's my only concern is that not having that money is going to help us. We're going to fall off eventually. That's my concern.
When I see it.
I know, and I agree with you. Until it happens, and if it doesn't, we can enjoy it. But I think beating up on these teams, I mean, you could bring Christ the King out from New York City, and they could win the Big East.
Well, let's not get carried away. That's a stupid argument.
I know. So the men had a game against Marquette, and again they dominated Marquette 73-57. Marquette is really struggling. They're 5-10 overall. They're 0-4 in the Big East. We are now 14-1, 4-0 in the Big East. And Solo Ball led all players. He had double figures, 17 points, and a season high 8 rebounds. Can I say season high for him or no?
Well, if it's season high, he's an upper class. You're not getting my point.
Right. He's not a freshman.
Right.
Silas Demery, he had foul problems, but he still got 14 points in 21 minutes. And Terrace Reed Jr. narrowly missed a double-double with 13 points and 9 rebounds. UConn held Marquette below 33% from the floor and finished with a 12 plus 12 rebound advantage. It was just amazing. And then,
I wouldn't call it amazing, Steve. The head coach ripped him a new one after the game.
He did. He has to.
Well, no, because he's got standards. So to say it was amazing is being a fanboy. They didn't play great against Marquette. Frankly, look at the shooting. Look at Caravan. Look at Braden Mullins.
Yeah, 3 of 10. Yep, I agree. Caravan was 2 of 11. Yep.
Yeah, it was hard. It was the farthest thing from amazing when the coach comes out yesterday and talks about just how, I mean, on the broadcast, Donnie thought they played well, but the coach is his opinion that counts. He didn't think they played very well. And look, again, you got to consider the opposition. This is a Marquette team that tries to do it without going into the transfer portal. Well, how's that worked out, Shaka? How's that go? How's that going for you? Right?
Yeah.
You got to play by the rules.
100%.
You got to play by the rules. I mean, if the transfer portal is good enough for Gino and Danny, it should be good enough for every other coach. You don't have to bring 12 in, but 2 or 3 good players a year. So no, the Marquette game was not amazing. The Marquette game was okay.
Well, I use amazing because we played as bad as we did, and we still beat them by almost 20.
Well,
I mean,
beat them by 16. It's closer to 15 than 20.
Yeah.
No, I think. Look, again, they're going to lose games in the Big East. This thought that they're going to go 20-0 in the Big East is pure fanboy stuff from people. They're going to have a real hard game tonight at Providence. Providence beat St. John's. Providence did something that UConn couldn't do last year, which was beat St. John's. They trailed by double digits and came back and won. That building is also a house of horrors. In all the years that I did games with Coach Calhoun and we would tape our pregame show, he was always the most nervous about Providence just because of the atmosphere there. I mean, the stuff not that UConn fans are angels, and trust me, they're not, but the stuff you hear courtside at Providence is vile, or at least
the Dunkin' Donuts Arena used to be and
the amps know better, from what people tell me. So they weren't amazing against Marquette. They were okay. They won by 16 points.
They were okay. They got the win. They got the job done.
They won by 16 at home against Marquette.
Yeah, they did what they were supposed to do. They were not spectacular, but they got the job done. Maria, what were your thoughts? I mean, they were 5 of 24 from 3-point range, which is not good. And, the field goal percentage, especially for Caravan, 2 of 11, Mullins, 3 of 10. That is unacceptable. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I think to Joe's point, I don't know. I think we covered this. I think we're going to be fine. I do think it's a harder place to play. I mean, listen, the women didn't play well against Providence. What was that last week? Gino was going crazy in the media about we'll find other stupid things to do, but we won't do that again. It's a long season, and I think any team can catch our men on a really bad night. It's different on the men's side than it is on the women's side. I think totally that different. You can catch the UConn women on a dismal night and still just not have the players to pull off a win. I think on the men's side, any men's team can get a little bit hot if a team's playing really, really poorly. I mean, you look at the NCAA tournament as a perfect example. We've seen 1 seeds lose to 16 seeds just because someone gets hot. And, they play that same team 100 times. They probably beat them 99 out of 100. So,
absolutely.
I think on the men's side, it's a little bit more of a variable, but I think our men are locked in. I think they're playing really well. So I think it'll be a bit good.
I don't think a loss. I mean, if the men went into Providence and lost tonight, it's not the end of the world.
No, not at all.
It would make me fear for DePaul coming into Hartford on Saturday for their lives. But no, I mean, again, all you're looking for from the men is for consistency. And the women, but the women have an easier time obtaining consistency, just because of the competition. For the men, there's more variables that go into it, because as bad as we say the Big East is for the men, and I think it's bad despite what others seem to claim, there's always 1 or 2 guys who can light you up and might have a big game. And again, if Caravan's 3 for 11 and Mullins is 2 for 10 tonight, and Demery gets in foul trouble, which he seemingly does every game. Hurley talked about that after the game. It says it's like a sickness for him. then the men could lose the game. But you know, they just you should go into Providence and win. But I guarantee you, once one or two calls goes against UConn, Danny will flip his noodle. That'll incite the crowd even more, and then all bets are off.
Right. So moving on to the women, they had a victory, their 31st straight game. They beat Seton Hall. Sarah Strong, 18 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, 4 steals. Azzi Fudd, 16 points, as the top-ranked UConn overcame a slow shooting start to roll to an 84-48 win over Seton Hall. We are now 15-0, 5-0 in the Big East, and the 31st win in a row, 44 game winning streak. And the last 42 wins have been at least by 10 points, which I think is, can I say amazing for that? I do think that's amazing. But yeah, I mean, Sarah Williams, she had 7 points. She had 5 rebounds. She stayed out of foul trouble, 2 steals. Ashlyn Shade, again, 5 points. She was 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3-point land. She had 4 rebounds as well. And then we had KK coming back from the nose, the broken nose, or nose injury. She had 5 points, 5 steals, 5 assists, exactly what you need from her. But yeah, this was a pretty easy win, I would say. I mean, we took care of business and dominated Seton Hall. The Seton Hall men are having an incredible year, and the Seton Hall women just got decimated. Maria, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's us, and then I don't see how it's possible that anyone in the Big East beats us this year.
I don't know who can pull the sword out of the stone.
No, it's not happening. You know, again, I think what they got Notre Dame, I think next week. I don't even think Notre Dame's that good.
Yeah.
I think we're 35 points better than Notre Dame.
Notre Dame and Tennessee are the 2 non-conference games that are going to be challenging.
Yeah, I mean, we might have to, for like the next couple of weeks, find another topic to talk about in regards to this team, because it's like, you know, we can run the stats off and everything else. I mean, they're flying on all cylinders. Al Affey, I think I read that she's probably out for tonight. She apparently got hit with a basketball in practice in the head, so maybe it's like concussion protocol or something. Like that had to be some pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, these guys are firing. I think right now what he's probably just doing, if I had to guess, is
Steve, move that away from the microphone, please.
Yes, sir.
I think right now it's just keep sharpening the sword, getting a lot of kids confidence. I feel like we said this a lot at this time last year. You know, the more kids that you can get playing really elite high level basketball, the better. And right now, like, listen, it's a great time for some of these other kids to get some minutes and
you get action,
what they can do and get into a flow a little bit. So I think that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks, really.
Joe, your thoughts on this game?
Oh. Yawn.
Yeah.
Yawn.
Yeah. I know.
You know, I mean, the people fill the building, and it'll be, you know, it'll be good for about a few minutes. I mean, St. John's is playing better than they were expected to in the meaningless preseason poll. They did a lot with the transfer portal. They've got players from, you know, 5 different schools.
Well, they're 13-3 overall. They're no one's fool. I mean, they've they've been playing pretty well. They're 3-2 in the conference, which isn't spectacular, but I think UConn is going to come in and handle them as they've handled everyone else, and just put them away. That's what they do.
You said it perfectly. No reason to get into it anymore. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I think Maria's right. I think we've got to find a different, I don't know what else there is going to be to talk about with the women. I mean, I think the Notre Dame game will be, I think it'll be closer than 35 points, because I think Hidalgo, if she's playing well, can do that. But again, that's a gamble. So that's going to be, that's a Monday night at Gamble. Although why they're playing at 5 o'clock, I have no idea. Well, because it's on Fox, that's why.
Joe, what do you think about? I mean, we always talk about this. The women after this, they play at Creighton, and that's always a tough trip going to Nebraska. But do you see that being an issue at all, or no?
No.
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't. Unless lightning strikes in a bottle, I don't see any of the 20 Big East games being an issue. I'm with Maria. I don't, unless you're missing your two best players and, lightning strikes in a bottle and a team shoots 100%. I think there's no reason to think that the women will win a game by less than double figures. I mean, who knew the Big East would be easier than the American would be, but so far it has been. And they never lost a game in the American.
Oh, you're talking about the AAC, yes.
Right.
Yes, I got criticized. I got criticized quite a bit last week for some of my comments about the Big East, and people were saying, "Oh, do you want us to go back to the AAC?" Yeah, that worked out really well. And I was like, "No, I don't want the AAC. I want a Power 4 conference." So the men have coming up, as we talked about, Providence tonight, then DePaul, and then the big game, Joe, Seton Hall. I know you have to go. What are your prediction for Seton Hall? Do you think that
I'm not? We will have a show before we do Seton Hall, right?
I know.
When do they play Seton Hall? I mean,
they play Seton Hall on the 13th. So, it'll be we'll have a show right after it. Yes. So we'll talk
after it. No, I think Seton. I'm looking it up. I don't even know where that game is. I don't.
It's at Seton Hall.
That's at the Prudential Center. So that'll be a hard game. Seton Hall always gets up for UConn. UConn for some reason doesn't play well there. I think tonight's going to be tough. I think tonight's a single-digit win. I think spread's 10.5 or something. I think they'll kick the crap out of DePaul. They beat them up in Chicago. They're not going to lose to them here. And I think Seton Hall might be, until they play St. John's, their toughest game of the season, of the Big East season.
Yes.
I think Seton Hall will give them something to fight for. So, but do I think they'll win it? Yeah, probably. But if they lost it, would I be surprised? Not in the least.
No, you wouldn't. And then Georgetown is after that. They're on the road at Georgetown Saturday.
We've got shows after that, after the Seton Hall game. So no reason to look that far ahead.
Okay. Well, again, it was ho-hum. I mean, they took care of business, and it wasn't anything spectacular or amazing. And they didn't play as well as advertised against Marquette. So we have to see continued improvement. And like Joe said, one day off. I mean, they're going to lose eventually in the Big East, and it's not going to be the end of the world, and they'll rebound from it. And if they lose tonight against Providence, God help DePaul. So I totally agree with you. And on the women's side, like Maria said, there's just nobody that can challenge them. I mean, they're going to have Notre Dame and Tennessee non-conference, the last two non-conference games, I believe. But other than that, they're going to roll through. I mean, they're the best of the best right now.
Maria, is that your dog barking? Yeah,
And
they are the best.
And Maria, who do you have just quickly coming up?
We have Rick tomorrow, and we're at UMass Dartmouth on Saturday.
Okay.
Is that out on the Cape, UMass Dartmouth? Where's UMass Dartmouth?
No, it's a pain in the butt to get there. It's one of my least favorite drives. Yeah, it's out there.
UMass.
Yeah, they're good. They won the league last year. Rick came in second last year, so we got a big week.
Good luck.
You play UMass Boston too, right? That's the one where Dave's sister is the AD. Well, okay. Well, for another banner episode of Husky Hoops, Joe D, thank you so much. The icon, legendary voice of the Huskies, the best of the best. I appreciate your insight and analysis. Maria, sorry about your trip to Puerto Rico.
Don't be sorry. I was in 85-degree weather, man.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Seriously, what are you sorry about, dude? Come on.
I'm good.
But I mean, with the
Listen,
travel,
my mom got a tan. That's all that matters. Lincoln got a tan, so I'm good. I'm good.
Please tell your dad I said hi. Your dad always likes my videos on Facebook and Instagram.
He turned 67 yesterday.
I saw that. I did see that. So please thank him. But for Maria, the UConn women's legend, Western Connecticut State University head coach, I am Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.